In the heart of the open ocean, where the horizon blurs into infinity, lies a world where danger isn't just a possibility, it's a certainty. Here, the waves aren't mere ripples. They're liquid walls that challenge survival itself. This is the realm of deep-sea fishing, a pursuit as perilous as it is mesmerizing. Every voyage into this vast blue abyss is a duel between man and nature, a battle that doesn't always end in victory. Deep-sea fishing is not for the faint of heart. For those brave enough to venture out, the rewards can be immense, but the cost is often life itself. Each year, thousands of men and women embark on these treacherous journeys, and not all of them make it back. Global estimates reveal that over 24,000 fishermen perish at sea annually, while countless others vanish, swallowed by the endless expanse. Today, we'll delve into this grim reality. The ships that never returned, the storms that turned dreams into tragedies, and the stories of those who survived to tell the tale of what it means to face one of the planet's most unforgiving environments. But this story isn't just about tragedy. Deep-sea fishing is also a testament to courage, a lifeline for entire communities who depend on these ocean warriors to survive. What drives someone to embark on a journey that might be their last? Is it ambition, necessity, or perhaps the eternal human fascination with pushing boundaries? Welcome to the heart of a profession that is as much a triumph as it is an epitaph. This is the chronicle of a world where life and death dance to the rhythm of the waves. Out here, there are no safety nets, no lifelines. Just you, your crew, and the vast, unpredictable ocean. The dangers are everywhere. Towering waves that can swallow a ship whole, sudden storms that strike without warning, and the relentless cold that seeps into your bones, numbing both body and mind. But the ocean holds more than physical peril. It is a psychological battlefield, testing the endurance of even the strongest souls. For the fishermen, every decision is a gamble. Will the weather hold? Will the equipment last? Will the catch be worth the risk? A single mistake can mean disaster. A rope that snaps under tension, a slip on a rain-slicked deck, or a rogue wave that overturns a vessel in seconds. The sea does not forgive, and it never forgets. Consider the case of the Mary Celeste II, a trawler that vanished off the coast of Newfoundland in 2017. Equipped with state-of-the-art navigation systems and a seasoned crew, it was considered unsinkable. But when a sudden Arctic storm descended, it became just another statistic. Its crew of 12 lost to the icy depths. They left behind families, communities, and unanswered questions. A chilling reminder that no technology can outmatch the wrath of the sea. Yet, despite the risks, the allure of the ocean remains irresistible. For some, it's the promise of wealth. A single haul of prize tuna or crab can fetch tens of thousands of dollars. For others, it's tradition, a legacy passed down through generations. These fishermen don't see the sea as a threat. They see it as a partner, one that demands respect, resilience, and an unyielding spirit. But the toll is undeniable. For every victory, there are losses. Families left waiting at harbors, staring at the horizon, praying for the safe return of their loved ones. Memorials line the coasts of fishing towns, etched names of those who gave their lives to the sea. In Alaska alone, an average of 42 fishermen die each year, many of them during the brutal winter crab season, where temperatures plunge below freezing, and every wave is a potential killer. And yet, the cycle continues. The ocean calls and they answer. Is it bravery, or is it necessity? Perhaps it's both, a complex mix of survival and sacrifice that binds these men and women to the water. But what about those who do return? Their faces bear the marks of their trials. Weathered skin, scars from accidents that could have been fatal, and eyes that have stared into the abyss. They bring back more than fish. They carry stories, some triumphant, others tragic. Tales of camaraderie forged under the harshest conditions, and of moments when survival came down to sheer willpower and a bit of luck. This is not just a job, it's a way of life. And for many, it's the only life they know. But the question remains, How much longer can this way of life persist in a world where the stakes keep rising? With climate change intensifying storms, depleting fish stocks forcing deeper and more dangerous expeditions, and ever-increasing pressure to produce bigger catches, the risks are growing by the day. The ocean may be a graveyard for some, but for others, it's a stage, a place to prove their mettle, to wrestle with forces beyond comprehension, and to emerge, if only for a time, victorious. This is the paradox of deep-sea fishing. It takes as much as it gives. And for those who venture into its depths, every journey is a reminder that out here, life is fragile, and the sea always wins in the end. To understand the true peril of deep-sea fishing, one must step aboard the deck of a trawler during the peak of a fishing season. Picture this. The wind howls like a living beast, salt spray lashes your face, and the deck beneath your feet shifts violently with every wave. The crew moves with mechanical precision, their actions born from years of experience and muscle memory. There is no margin for error. Every second counts. Every movement matters. The gear they use is colossal. Nets spanning hundreds of meters are dragged through the depths. Heavy winches groan under the strain of massive hauls, and steel cables snap, taut with enough force to sever limbs. Injuries are common, and when they occur, there's no hospital nearby. Only first aid kits and the skill of a crewmate to keep someone alive until they reach the shore. If they reach the shore, and then there are the storms. Out here, far from land, a storm is more than an inconvenience. It's a predator. In the blink of an eye, the sky darkens, the wind shifts, and the ocean rises with terrifying fury. Waves as tall as 5-story buildings crash over the bow, flooding the deck and threatening to capsize the vessel. The crew braces themselves, clinging to whatever they can find, praying the ship holds together. Many don't, but the danger isn't always so visible. Beneath the surface lies another threat: fatigue. A single trip can last weeks, sometimes months, and the work is relentless. Crews operate in shifts, often working 18-hour days with little sleep, their bodies pushed to the brink. Exhaustion dulls their senses, making every task a potential hazard, a misplaced foot, a forgotten protocol, and the sea claims another life. Yet, it's not just the fishermen who are at risk. The boats themselves are constantly at war with the elements. Corrosion eats away at metal hulls, engines fail under the strain, and navigation systems falter in the face of extreme weather. Every journey is a race against time, not just to catch enough fish to make the trip profitable, but to return before the ocean decides otherwise. Still, the drive to fish remains unshaken. It's not just about money. It's about survival. For small coastal communities, fishing is often the only livelihood. The ocean feeds not just the families of fishermen, but entire towns. The men and women who take to the sea carry the weight of their communities on their shoulders. Their sacrifices are the foundation of an industry worth billions. Yet they often see only a fraction of those profits. But at what cost? For every catch hauled in, there is a price paid in blood and sweat. And as the world demands more seafood, more profits, more efficiency, the toll grows heavier. The ocean, vast and seemingly infinite, is not the bottomless resource it once appeared to be. Overfishing has pushed species to the brink of collapse, forcing fishermen to venture further, deeper, and into even greater danger. For those left behind, the weight is a torment all its own. Wives, children, parents, they gather at harbors and along coastlines, scanning the horizon for a glimpse of their loved ones. Every hour of silence amplifies their dread. When a boat fails to return, the community feels the loss as a collective wound. Funerals are held without bodies, memorials erected in the absence of closure. The sea takes, and it rarely gives back. And yet, despite it all, the fishermen persist. Because out here, in the face of impossible odds, lies a truth as old as humanity itself. The sea is both a hunter and a provider, a destroyer and a giver of life. It represents the ultimate challenge, a force that cannot be tamed but only respected. For those who face it, Every voyage is a testament to their resilience, their courage, and their unyielding connection to the water. This is the story of the fishermen who live and die by the ocean's hand. Their legacy is etched in the waves, a haunting reminder that the sea is not just a workplace. It is a watery graveyard, and it holds its secrets well. But even as we marvel at the courage of these men and women, we must confront a stark reality. The ocean they risk their lives for is changing. Climate change has become an invisible force, reshaping the very fabric of the seas. Warmer waters are driving fish to migrate further from traditional fishing grounds, forcing crews to venture into uncharted territories where danger multiplies. Storms, once seasonal, now appear with unpredictable ferocity, fueled by shifting weather patterns. The sea is no longer just a battlefield. It is an evolving adversary. For fishermen in the Arctic, this shift is particularly brutal. The thinning ice offers a longer fishing season, but it also exposes them to unpredictable icebergs and freezing storms. In these waters, hypothermia can set in within minutes. If someone falls overboard, survival depends on being pulled back onto the ship almost immediately. Yet, despite these dangers, these icy regions hold some of the richest fishing grounds, and the call of the catch is irresistible. And then there is the dark side of the industry, one that is rarely spoken of but looms large over deep-sea fishing: human exploitation. Many fishing fleets operate under grueling conditions, with workers subjected to near slavery. Forced labor is not uncommon, especially on vessels far from regulatory oversight. Men recruited from impoverished nations are often promised fair wages, only to find themselves trapped on boats for months or even years, unable to leave. For them, the sea is not a career, it's a prison. These injustices, paired with the dangers of the job, paint a grim picture of an industry that thrives on the edge of survival. Yet, for all its flaws, deep-sea fishing sustains millions of people worldwide. Without it, entire economies would collapse and billions would face food insecurity. It's a paradox, an industry that takes so much from those who work within it, yet gives so much to the world. But what does the future hold? As fish stocks dwindle and the ocean becomes more treacherous, the line between profit and peril grows thinner. Some predict that automation and technology will replace traditional fishing methods, reducing the human cost. Drones and robotic trawlers could one day take over the most dangerous tasks. Yet, even with technology, the heart of the industry remains human. The determination, the resilience, and the sheer willpower of those who face the ocean day after day. For the families of fishermen, every departure carries an unspoken weight. They know the statistics, they've heard the stories, but they still send their loved ones off with a hope that defies logic. It's a hope born from necessity, love, and an unbreakable bond with the sea. Each return is a moment of relief, each successful haul a fleeting victory. But in the back of their minds, the shadow of the ocean's unpredictability lingers. In the end, the story of deep-sea fishing is not just one of danger and sacrifice. It's a story of humanity's unrelenting spirit, a testament to our ability to endure, adapt, and thrive even in the face of insurmountable odds. The sea may claim lives, but it also forges a resilience that is unmatched. For those who dare to venture into its depths, the ocean is more than just a workplace. It is a teacher, a rival, and ultimately, a force that shapes their very existence. And as the tide ebbs and flows, so too does the life of a fisherman, forever tied to the rhythm of the ocean, where every journey begins with hope and ends with the unknown. For centuries, the sea has been a source of sustenance, adventure, and peril. It has shaped the cultures of nations, inspired myths, and commanded the respect of those who live by its rules. Yet, despite all the knowledge we've gained, the ocean remains an enigma. It's a place where humanity's greatest strengths are tested and its deepest fears are realized. For fishermen, this paradox is part of daily life. Every voyage begins the same way. Preparations that seem almost ritualistic. Nets are checked and repaired, engines inspected, and supplies loaded. Superstition runs deep in fishing communities. Some captains refuse to set sail on Fridays, believing it invites misfortune. Others avoid bringing bananas aboard, a curious but widespread taboo among sailors. These traditions may seem quaint, but at their core, they reflect an understanding of just how unpredictable the sea can be. As the boat leaves the harbor, the first thing that strikes you is the silence. The bustling noise of the shore fades away, replaced by the rhythmic lapping of waves against the hull. It's peaceful, almost serene, but beneath this calm exterior lies a constant tension. Every fisherman knows that this tranquility can turn into chaos in an instant. Out here, the sea has no master. Once the ship reaches its fishing grounds, the real work begins. Lines are cast, nets are dropped, and the hunt begins. It's a race against time, against the weather, against quotas, and against other fishing vessels competing for the same resources. Every haul is met with a mix of anticipation and dread. Will the nets be full, or will they come up empty? And if they're full, what dangers might be lurking within? Danger doesn't always come in the form of storms or mechanical failures. Sometimes, it's the creatures of the deep themselves. Giant squids, tangled in nets, thrash with enough force to injure a fisherman. Sharks, drawn by the scent of bait, circle the boat. Their sleek bodies a reminder of the ocean's untamed wildness. Even smaller fish can pose a threat. The venomous spines of a stonefish or the razor-sharp teeth of a barracuda can turn a routine task into a medical emergency. And then there's the catch itself. Some species are more valuable than others, and every fisherman dreams of hauling in the prize catches: bluefin tuna, Alaskan king crab, or swordfish. These can fetch astronomical prices on the market, sometimes enough to sustain a family for months. But catching them often means venturing further from shore, into waters where help is a distant dream. But the ocean doesn't always provide. There are days, even weeks, when the nets come up empty. The frustration is palpable. The mood aboard the ship heavy. For these fishermen, failure isn't just a setback. It's a threat to their livelihoods. Fuel, maintenance, wages. All these costs add up, and without a profitable catch, a single trip can put a captain deep into debt. And yet, they return. Over and over again, they return. For some, it's a calling, an unshakable bond with the sea. For others, it's a necessity, a way to provide for their families in a world that offers few alternatives. They endure the exhaustion, the danger, and the heartbreak because they must. But while fishermen battle the elements and their own limitations, a larger battle rages around them. The industry they sustain is under siege from forces far beyond their control. Overfishing, driven by global demand, is depleting the very resources they depend on. Species once abundant are now critically endangered. Illegal fishing operations strip the oceans bare, often leaving little for legal, sustainable fisheries to harvest. For the fishermen who play by the rules, it's a bitter pill to swallow. And then there's climate change. Rising sea temperatures are disrupting marine ecosystems, driving fish populations to colder, deeper waters. Ocean acidification, caused by increased carbon dioxide levels, is damaging coral reefs and other vital habitats. The result is a cascade of consequences that affect not just fishermen, but the entire planet. For those who rely on the sea, these changes are more than just headlines. They're a daily reality, one that forces them to adapt or face extinction. Some turn to aquaculture, farming fish instead of catching them in the wild. Others invest in new technology, sonar systems to locate fish, stronger boats to withstand harsher conditions. But these solutions are expensive, and many small-scale fishermen simply can't afford them. Yet, for all its challenges, fishing remains a cornerstone of human civilization. It's not just about feeding people. It's about culture, heritage, and identity. From the fishermen of Norway's fjords to the tuna fleets of the Pacific, each community has its own stories, traditions, and struggles. These are the stories of resilience, of people who refuse to give up even when the odds are stacked against them. The sea, for all its dangers, is also a place of beauty and wonder. It inspires all with its vastness, humbles us with its power, and sustains us with its bounty. And perhaps that is why fishermen continue to brave its depths, because beyond the fear and the hardship lies something greater, a connection to the very essence of life on Earth. The ocean is a grave for some, a livelihood for others, and a mystery for us all. It is relentless, unforgiving, and magnificent. And for those who dare to venture into its embrace, it is a reminder that life's greatest rewards often lie on the edge of the unknown. As the sun dips below the horizon, casting a golden glow across the endless waves, we are reminded of the delicate balance between humanity and the sea. The fishermen, those tireless warriors of the water, embody this balance in its most raw and vulnerable form. They face the unknown with courage, with determination, and with an unwavering bond to the life-giving force of the ocean. But the story of deep-sea fishing is far from over. It's a tale that continues to unfold with every boat that leaves the harbor, every net cast into the abyss, and every soul that answers the ocean's call. It is a story of survival and sacrifice, of triumph and tragedy. These men and women are not just workers. They are storytellers, guardians of a tradition that has sustained humanity for millennia. Through their efforts, they connect us to the primal rhythms of the earth, to the mysteries of the deep, and to the eternal ebb and flow of life itself. For every storm they weather, for every wave that threatens to claim their lives, these fishermen remind us of something profound. The ocean is not just a place, but a force. It is both a provider and a punisher, a stage for human resilience and a graveyard for countless dreams. Yet, it is also a source of wonder, a realm of beauty that inspires those who venture upon it and those who stand in awe from the shore. But as we marvel at this beauty, we must not forget the challenges that loom ahead. The oceans are changing, and with them, the lives of those who depend on them. Climate change, overfishing, and exploitation threaten not just the fishermen, but the delicate ecosystems that sustain us all. Protecting these waters is no longer a choice. It is a necessity. It requires action, compassion, and a deep respect for the interconnectedness of life on Earth. So, as we leave this chapter of the ocean story, let us carry its lessons with us. Let us remember the fishermen who risked everything, not for fame or glory, but for survival, for the sustenance of their families, their communities, and a world that depends on the ocean's bounty. Let us honor their sacrifices by protecting the very waters that define their lives and ours. And for those of us on land, who may never set foot on a trawler or feel the salt spray of a storm at sea, let us not take for granted the food on our plates or the lives that make it possible. Behind every bite of fish, every shimmering fillet in the market, is a story of risk, resilience, and respect for the ocean. The ocean is vast, mysterious, and eternal. It holds secrets we may never uncover and challenges we may never fully overcome. But it also holds hope, a hope carried by those who venture into its depths day after day, year after year. So, to the fishermen who brave its waters, and to the seas that shape their lives, we offer our deepest gratitude. May their courage inspire us, their sacrifices remind us, and their stories move us to protect the ocean, this cradle of life, this vast frontier, this watery grave and eternal provider.